Hello and happy midweek greetings from Radically Rational and RadicallyRational.com. May I remind everybody that virtually all of the testimony and all of the evidence that has been introduced in this endless series of scandals involving the former president, may I remind you that all of that has been offered by Republicans and in many cases previously dyed-in-the-wool Trump Republicans. And these are almost all first-hand accounts. So in my mind, it's very difficult to write this off to political partisanship or say that these investigations are politically motivated. In fact, there's evidence to the contrary. Now, it's going to have political impact, but there's no evidence to suggest that these investigations were initiated for political reasons. My goodness, the director of the FBI is a Trump appointee. But still, we have the cultists taking the approach that the best defense is a good offense. So they're saying that this is unfair, that they're outraged, comparing it to SS behavior, comparing it to Nazis. On what basis? And see, that's the thing about this endless cycle of lies. They just make things up and they lie, and then they double down and lie about the lies. Here are the facts. There is overwhelming probable cause that crimes were committed. And you know what? The FBI is in the business of investigating that. Trump says, he gets his crying towel out, that no other former president has ever been subjected to anything like this. And he's exactly right for once. And why? Because no other former president has ever behaved in such an egregious way that warrants this. And it was warranted. Why did they have to do this? Why did they have to get that search warrant? Why did they have to go in? The reason is, believe it or not, there was suspicion in the FBI that maybe Trump wasn't being totally honest about what was in there. Imagine that. Concern that maybe Donald J. Trump was not being totally honest. Okay, and so Trump and Trumpers are saying, well, Merrick Garland needs to be accountable for this. He needs to make a statement about what were you after, what did you see, what are the allegations. Donald Trump could do that this morning. Well, he could if he weren't being deposed for yet another scandal as we speak. But Donald Trump could do that. Why? Because when the FBI executes a warrant like that and they seize material, they give you a receipt. And the receipt tells you what they were looking for, what they found, what they removed, and the subject matter of the possible criminal investigations. So there's a person that knows all of this and could disclose all of this. But no, let's write this off to political partisanship. McCarthy and others talk about revenge. Revenge for what? Revenge toward whom? You're outraged? You should be outraged by the behavior of Donald J. Trump. I don't want to hear any of this deflection. I don't want to hear any cry. I don't want people saying that this is politically motivated. No, not when you examine the facts, something you never do. There are allegations of wrongdoing. There's evidence to suggest that there was criminal activity, and our system is doing what our system does. It's investigating that. Now, turning to sports. All right, we all knew how the Jolly Roger felt about Deshaun Watson, that he wanted a full year of suspension at least, but yesterday was the first time he said that. He has my full backing here. He described Watson's behavior as egregious and predatory, and he was right. He absolutely needs to be sat down for at least a year. So what do the Browns do now? Jacoby Brissett, you're there for all 17? Is that the way it's going to work? Or maybe do they go after some help? And maybe on a stopgap one-year basis, does that maybe mean Jimmy G? I don't know. And let me just suggest one other possible landing spot for Jimmy G, at least for 2022. The Rams. A team in that division. And I know he's been linked to Seattle as well. But if I were the Rams, I would be at least moderately concerned about the chronic condition of Matthew Stafford's elbow. And I would want somebody who could step in and win games, and Jimmy G would actually be a very good fit there. And finally, kudos to that judge who told the double-dipping wannabe golfers that no, you can't play in the FedEx. You essentially made your bed, you made your decision, you knew the consequences, and you elected to join the murderous Saudi blood money sports washing tour. Get on out of here. We are radically rational.